Welcome everyone alive to my nest, here's Nowhere, and we have news from Rusty Lake. In today's broadcast, preparations for the studio's 10th anniversary, a new April Fool's joke from the developers, and MAMMOTH LIIVES! Make yourself comfortable, and let's begin. So Rusty Lake Studio is actively preparing for another anniversary. This year marks a special milestone, 10 whole years. Just think about it. To celebrate, the developers have already launched 2 art contests in the community. One for the banner of their Discord server, and another for general fan art. Also, as a reminder, just like on the 5th anniversary, there's a chance we might get a free game as a gift. Looking at the New Year's teaser, I thought it would be something about Mr. Rabbit and the theater. Among the very few characters who have ever worn a top hat, he was the only one holding it in that particular way. But now we have a reason to doubt that theory, because on April 1st we got something completely unexpected. Until now, year after year, April 1st has been marked by announcements of crazy Rusty Lake related projects, like a theme park, NFTs, or generative AI. But what we got today stands out dramatically. But first, let's take a step back. At the end of March, on the 23rd, Johannes Hert, the artist behind many wonderful paintings for the series, posted yet another masterpiece on his Instagram. And this time, it was a mammoth. The Rusty Lake account didn't hesitate to react with a comment containing a fitting emoji. Nothing unusual at first glance, except the mammoth is a creature they've been teasing for 6 years now. And then, on April 1st, we got a video mimicking a clip from an old TV program on the iconic Channel 5, which occasionally appears in the series. The story revolves around an archaeological discovery at Rusty Lake made by Dr. Van der Bone, the remains of a mammoth. Let's take a look at the scientist's last name. On one hand, it resembles common Dutch surnames that start with Vander, like Vanderboom. On the other hand, it incorporates the English word bone, which is an obvious reference to archaeology. However, such surnames don't actually exist in real life, so it's hard for me to take it seriously. Next, the artifacts discovered by the archaeologists are quite intriguing. We see the iconic matches, various keys, some tools, and of course, a black cube. But then things get more mysterious. There are 2 boxes. One has been identified by us theorists as an old Dormer drill bit case. Why? For what reason? Who knows? Maybe they just didn't have any other props. The second box, to me personally, resembles the pink blossoms on a blue background, just like in Laura's photograph from theater. So yeah, in the end, they did find mammoth bones at the lake. And now the big question arises, quoting directly, could a mammoth really have lived on shores of Rusty Lake in 20,000 BC? That's exactly what the Mammoth game was called on the old roadmap, 20,000 BC. And that exact image appears in the end of the video, before being overlaid with the cube effect. Not sure so far, but this might mean that the excavated cube contains memories exactly about mammoths. Quite a way to preserve history. What could be the implications of such an archaeological discovery for the past and future of Rusty Lake? Stay tuned for more news from the lake, reads the accompanying message on social media. Then, 3 hours later, the studio finally wished us a happy April 1st and once again reminded us about the anniversary. Again, with the mammoth emoji. I think it's all pretty straightforward here. The past and the future likely refers to a new game with a backstory. And the second post hints that this will be the anniversary game. Yeah, sometimes companies break the mold and use April 1st for that serious announcements. Although it hardly seems credible given the pun surname and the traditionally jokey announcement over the past 4 years. I don't think Rusty Lake would joke about something like this. This is a real project they've been planning for a long time, even if not specifically for an anniversary. My only question, what was that with Mr. Rabbit and the theater during the new year? To me, it seemed like a pretty good setting for a retrospective of the past 10 years of Rusty Lake. On stage, they could have brought out anything without worrying about the logic. But since that's not the case, what's going on? Rusty Lake Hotel anniversary? A whole another game this year? I don't think so. I'm not even sure they'll manage to release The Alchemist Brothers in 2025, which they also planned for that year. Delays are pretty common for this studio. Alright, the Mammoth. They also mentioned that there will be more news. Of course, they already posted once, but I don't think that's it. There's definitely more to come. One possibility is another ARG. The devs have hinted that they are preparing one, and the video style really reminds me of best-kept memory materials. We'll keep an eye on them. And if you don't wanna miss my further analysis, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Heroes nowhere, and remember, question everything in Rusty Lake.